Oh, gee, this song looks familiar. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. Step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. Step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. Step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. Should we? Step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I guess I wasn't done.
All right, while we're still on our feet, do not sit down right now. Turn to one another and offer the namaste greeting. And what that means is that you honor the light that's within you and you see the light within the other. And while we're standing up, please silence your cell phone and take a seat. And you guys are awesome over there, Jimmy, and your choir and your band. And that very first song, the harmony. Woohoo! You guys were working it. I love it. Thank you all. Grand Rising Beloveds. My name is Reverend Diane Davison, and I am a retired hospital chaplain and a bereavement counselor. And I am so honored to be here today. And we know that Reverend Elizabeth and Travis will be back next week. They're out enjoying family right this weekend. So welcome to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by simply changing your mind. And this service has been designed and created especially for each and every one of you here today. Welcome home. We have been waiting for you. Yes. Dawn, we got Dawn here. The Italians are here. Love the Italians. Woo! So we're an international group today, aren't we? International, I love it. We're all over the world. We have a phenomenal affirmation for you this morning. I'm going to ask you to please repeat after me. But before we do, I'd like you to put your hand over your heart and really feel it. I am divine. I shine the light of the divine. I am the place where God shows up. And so it is. Thank you. And now I'm going to invite our practitioner for the day, DeLon, to come up, and he is going to do an Ernest Holmes reading and our spiritual mind treatment.
Thank you. Hi, y'all. First, I'd like to say that Kristen is here holding the high watch for us. She's holding the space. She's holding us all, and this morning, and everyone in consciousness. And I'd also like to say that there may be something in your life that you are struggling with, something you don't want, or there may be something in your life that is missing that you do want, and we can help with that here. There's a few ways. You can fill out a prayer request form and put it in the little box over here, and we will get that and pray for you. You can email us, Zoomers, you can email us, and anyone else at info@awakeningways.org, and just type prayer request in the subject line. You can also request spiritual counseling from any of us ministers or practitioners on the soul support team. We'd be happy to help you with that. And finally, if you would like prayer this morning, right now, I will be available in the lobby right after the service. So, if you would join me, and let's just close our eyes and let's go into that space where we don't have to interpret anything. We don't have to put symbols on anything. We can just let in and open to wisdom. And these words from Dr. Ernest Holmes. He said, I feel myself to be a perfect instrument of life's divine symphony, in tune with its harmony and perfection. My body is an instrument in, through, and upon which life plays a divine and perfect harmony. And that's what's going on here right now this morning, is the divine playing itself as a perfect harmony through us, through each and every one of us. And we just feel that right now. We open to it. We allow that to be expressed. It runs through the music. It runs through Susan's perfect talk. And it touches us somewhere deep, somewhere in the mind of God within us. And it's good. It's very good. And I just give thanks for that this morning. I give thanks for this perfect beautiful morning, and I let it shine, and I let it blossom, and I let it be. And so it is.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
Yeah!
It's a new life
Grand Rising!
for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom up in the stream, you know how I feel. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having some fun, you know what I mean. Oh, sleep in peace when day is done. And this old world is a new world, is a bold world for me. And I'm feeling stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Yeah, freedom is mine when I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. I said it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. That is groovy. Woo! Wow. And we're going to groove right into our speaker this morning. I am so excited to introduce you. All know Susan. She's been around here for a while. She's been a student of Science of Mind since 1993. And she became a licensed spiritual practitioner in 2015 and is currently finishing up her ministerial studies, as so is Delon. She is a very familiar face around here. I call her the super glue that holds us all together. Yeah? And of course, she holds the administrative aspect of our center together, too, and that's a really big job. And for those that didn't know, that Susan was a foster parent to over 100 teenagers for over 30 years. She's going to go straight to heaven. She and her husband, Larry, and their adorable little pug, Ruby, live in Atascadero. And I don't know about you, but whenever I listen to you speak, Susan, you touch me so deeply. Your stories remind me through the whole week, and it really grounds me in the spiritual truth that you talk about. So I'm always so tickled to hear you speak, and I know everyone here will feel the same way. Come on up, Susan.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I feel your love. And thank you for zooming in if you're watching. I love you out there too. I just look around this room and see all of these beloved faces, old friends, new friends, brand new people. I'm just blessed that you're here today. And I'm very blessed to be speaking on this last Sunday of the month of May, where our seed of awakening has been good to great to grand. And as I was thinking about that over the last week or so, I was thinking about how that sort of describes my own spiritual journey in a way. Now, when I learned about the science of mind, it was very random. It came about because of a book study. So I didn't even know there was anything called science of mind. So I would say that when I found this teaching, I was probably in that good stage. My life was good, but I would say I didn't really know why it was good. I had no idea. Like, I didn't know about this stuff. So when I started learning about the science of mind and about prayer, I started actually kind of focusing on the conditions in my life. And I would say that, I also want to acknowledge that for many people, when they find the science of mind, they're not in that good space. They might be in a bad space. But there's this urge, or there's this movement from bad to good. So in those early days for me, I think I was probably focused a lot on conditions, things in my life that I wanted to be different. And as I learned about the science of mind, I learned about asking for prayer. So I was nowhere near ready to pray, but I was ready to ask for prayer. And so I did that. And to me, it's kind of like, when your vision starts going bad, you go to the optometrist and they help you regain your vision. I feel like that's what practitioners and ministers do. They just help bring you back into focus. And so classes and practitioners help you get to that, where you clear out that confusion, right? I remember one of the things that I learned early on that really stuck with me is so I used to think of God as this guy in a chair somewhere up above me, like judging me constantly. And the biggest concept for me that blew my mind was the idea that God is like energy. And I remember being taught it's like the electrical outlets. The energy is there all the time, but you've got to plug into it to receive that energy. And that has stuck with me since 1993. That really blew my mind. But this time of where we're just beginning to understand about this, a lot of people are suffering from a lot of things. As a person on the soul support team, I will tell you that a lot of the prayer requests reflect a lot of suffering. Now, right now, Delon and I are in a class, and we are studying Adyashanti. He is a mystic and a Buddhist, and in his book, The Impact of Awakening, he says, the human condition contains within it an unconscious need to struggle. Why? Because by remaining in a state of constant struggle, we maintain the boundaries that create the sense of separate self, a self who unconsciously defines itself as the one who struggles. Being separate gives us the sense that we are someone different, special, and unique. Now that kind of blows your mind, right? Like it's hard to think that suffering makes you feel special, because special seems like a good word. But I can think about times in my life where I felt like no one understood me. I felt like nobody gets me. And that sense of suffering was also somehow satisfying. So I think it's important to just remember that we're wired up for this. Like, this is how we're wired up. And so just be aware of that could come up for you, but that's not who you are. We'll get to that in a little bit. I have this little fitness tracker. I'm not wearing it today, but the other day I was in a meeting at a coffee place, and it buzzed, and I looked down at it, and it said, "You've been sitting too long." And I was like, okay. And immediately I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a little buzz on there that said, "What are you thinking about, like right now?" Because that would snap me out of the worry or the thoughts that I'm thinking that I don't want to think, and I don't want to claim those. So that's the stage of good. That's where you're kind of in your good, where you're learning these little things and you're applying them to your life. But then we get to great. Now, when things are great, we start wanting to pray for other people. Like, we feel pretty good. And so our prayer requests are for others. And we have a generally positive outlook. We make vision boards. You remember vision boards? You probably have vision boards in your house. That was a big thing, probably in the late 90s or something like that. And I remember making vision boards, and they worked, but I still didn't know why. I still wasn't clear about why it was working at all, or who was behind the demonstrations. But one thing I did learn is that the vision has to be something you can believe, not just unicorns and butterflies and mansions and Ferraris, right? I mean, you could put those on your vision board, but if you don't believe you're going to get that, then it's just silly, right? So what I've learned is if I'm looking at a situation and there's something I want, I have to ask myself, what can I believe about this? Like, what can I believe? I remember praying about making more money at my job, and the idea of just like endless, impossibly incredible abundance, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And so back then I thought, if I could just be making $30,000 a year, I would be so happy. I could get behind that, and I manifested that. So again, it was me believing what it was that I was praying for. And the other thing I want to say, and I've said this before in other talks, the things that you worry about are also creating visions for you. They're creating your vision. So when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're thinking about something, if it's something that you don't want to manifest, you got to just say, stop. No, I declare this is not true, and just let it go. It's hard to like make yourself not worry, but it's easy to recognize you're worrying and then say, I'm not going there. That's not for me. That's not who I am. Where you put your attention is what grows and thrives. And the law, we talk about the law, which is that doing part of the divine, it gives you what you seem to want by your feelings and your beliefs. Couple of, I would say, months ago, or maybe even last year, Reverend Elizabeth told a really funny story about this couple, these friends of hers, a man and a woman married, and they were heading out on a car trip to visit family. It was a long road trip. And before they left, the husband said, well, you know we're going to get a ticket, because I always get a ticket. And she said, no, I don't get tickets. I don't get tickets. We're not getting a ticket. So they took off. They went on their trip, and they were about 100 miles away from their destination, and she was driving, and sure enough, they got pulled over. And she rolled down the window. Her husband was in the back seat laying down, and he said, see, I told you, we're getting a ticket. We're getting a ticket. And she rolled down the window and spoke to the officer, and she said, you know, we're on a road trip. We're 100 miles away from our family, and I think I was just so excited, I just didn't realize how fast I was going, and I'm so sorry. And the officer said, you know what, I understand. I'm happy you guys are going to get to see your family, so just keep it down, keep your foot off of that gas, and you'll be fine. And then he looked in the back seat, and he said, but you, sir, are getting a ticket because you don't have a seatbelt on. So did they manifest what they believed? They absolutely manifested what they believed. Remember that story. It stuck with me all this time, and it's inspiring to me, you know. So if you think about the thing on the vision board, the thing that you want. If you trace it back to how will you feel when you have that thing, that's the vision, okay? So it's really about safety, peace, love, security, whatever it is. It's not the thing. It's how you're going to feel when you get that thing. So, for example, maybe you're praying for a new job, but really what you need to be praying about is how you want to feel at work. Because maybe Spirit has something in mind. Maybe your boss is going to leave and you're going to get a new boss, or maybe you get promoted. So, leave the how to the divine and just speak what it is that you vision for yourself. How do you want to feel? In fact, a sweet, sweet friend of mine who's been in this teaching a very long time said that she stopped putting pictures on vision boards, and now it's just words, so that she sees those words and she remembers how she wants to feel, and she lets God do the part about how to get to that feeling. So this is where we've moved from great to grand. When you are in that space of grand, and I have seen many people move from good to great to grand, as a practitioner, I get to see that because I see the way the prayer requests change over time. It's just amazing. They go from serious conditions to praying for others to like praying for the world. It's amazing. So in the state of grand, you are living according to your values and according to your faith and belief in oneness, because that's what this teaching is about. That's what it boils down to. There's only one thing happening here. And you are taking action. You create space for others to realize their values and their divinity. You are being oneness in the world. When you are sharing and modeling this teaching, you foster a world where people feel safe. Now, speaking about taking action, I want to share about two very special people, Daryl and Terry Green. They're here today, and I'm so blessed you're here. So, for many, many years, Daryl and Terry volunteered for a marine life rescue program. Okay, now that means they're down at the beach rescuing distressed sea animals, which to me seems fairly terrifying. Right? But then you guys probably think working with teenagers is terrifying. So, right? We all have our thing, right? Yeah, right. So, but the thing is, they've retired from that calling. But just the other day, Daryl was sharing with me that his latest adventure is driving a van for a nonprofit that's called Shower the People. And they bring showers to different parking lots so that the unhoused people can get in there and get a shower and get a fresh T-shirt. The thing that struck me the most about what Daryl said is they needed a driver, and I can drive. Right? Like, he doesn't need to go change the world, right? If you make your giving, your calling so big that it is impossible to imagine doing it, then you won't do anything, right? But he said, they needed a driver, I can drive. That inspires me. That inspires me so much because it opens me up to thinking, all right then, what is something I can do? Like, I don't have to devote the rest of my life to some cause. I could do one thing. So thank you for inspiring me in that way, both of you, and thank you for all of the little snapping mouths that you saved from the ocean. That that's what I picture as like. So I also always have to share a little something about my sister Ann in Texas. I don't know, she inspires me so much, but she's a school teacher. I've shared that before. And she took a little time off from teaching, and she got a job at the local grocery store. It's called Tom Thumb. And the Tom Thumb, so the thing about her is that she's doing that job as a person who chose to do the job, right? So she's not somebody who feels stuck in this job, like, ugh, you know. She goes to work like, I chose this, right? Well, people can tell. And so she's got this little crew of elderly people that come. She's there on Sunday afternoons. And they come to shop on the day that Anne is there because they like her. And she makes them feel good. She helps them find all the weird things that you're always trying to find, like Velveeta cheese. Like, does anybody know where they put that in the store? It's hidden. It's a mystery, right? And maybe we don't need Velveeta because they hide it, right? French fried onions, that's another one. In fact, when Anne and I talk on Sundays, I always say to her, well, who was looking for the French fried onions today? And she was like, I showed them right where they were. So that inspires me too, because she shows up there to be loving, to be friendly, not to stock shelves and do stuff like that. So I just want to ask everybody here, like, what message are you putting out there in the world? Like, if you watch the news and then you go talk to people, what are you talking about? If you're on social media, what are you sharing? What are you liking? Because the messages that you are putting out there are creating a ripple effect, okay? So if you see something that's disturbing and distressing to you, and then you share that, now you're creating other people to feel disturbed and distressed. And so, I wanted to share that I post pictures of my dog, Ruby, all the time, like at least once a day. And I put funny captions there so that people laugh, and I do that purposely. There are people in my Facebook friend group who I know tend towards sadness and depression, and yet I see the smiley faces and the thumbs up and the hearts, so I know that for a brief moment, Ruby and I made somebody feel good and feel happy. So, I want to just suggest that to take a look at what you're saying and what you're promoting and ask yourself if it's really in line with your values and what you really care about. I think about how powerful the science of mind is and how this practice creates definite results. And I wonder, why isn't this something that everybody does? We have the best secret in the world. It's so interesting because, I think that religion kind of tells you what to do and how to think. But the science of mind teaches you how to say into the world, how to speak into the world what you want to see. That's a whole different thing, and it is powerful. We have a superpower here, and we need to be sharing that. When somebody says to you, like, what is it about you? There's just something about you that is so awesome. You tell them what it is. Because honestly, I was at a big workshop conference once, probably 20 years ago. I mean, a long time ago. And they had us, it was a trauma-informed care workshop, and they had us stand face to face and look at each other and say something that we would not normally say to another person. And I was not at all nervous. The idea was to create anxiety and fear in us so that we could understand what trauma feels like, right? But I just walked up to this woman and I looked her right in the face and I said, I believe that I am God in form. And she went, she took this breath. She took a breath and then she grabbed me, she hugged me. It was like, see, the thing is, God speaks to God. Like, when I say that, the God in you goes, right on, sister, like, I get it, like, out of the blue, right? So don't be afraid to do that, right? She could have said, okay, you're a nut, right? I don't care. I don't care because I know who I am and I know the power of my mind and my speaking. I claim it. Right? So Ernest Holmes said, what the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have them repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. Right? We've got to practice this. So we've got to show the world how much good is possible. We got to show the world what it means when we say God is all there is, and I am that, and you are that. I loved when Eddie Watkins Jr. was here, and he sang a song called I Am the Place Where God Shows Up. And I loved that, and it stuck in my mind. He says, I'm the place where God shows up. I'm the place where God lives, moves, and breathes, and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. When we are being oneness, we are enlightened. Adyashanti, when asked by one of his followers, how will I know when I've reached enlightenment? He said, wonder, wonder. You are always surprised. You are always, always, always surprised because there is no longer a clinging to the past, the present, or the future. Now, I am willing to bet that every person here and every person listening to my voice has had moments of wonder and awe. That's enlightenment. And so cherish and relish those moments. Recognize what they are, what that is. That's God showing up and you showing up as God. This happens for me a lot in nature. But we all have places where we could practice that, and for me, it's in my car. In my car. I hate to tell you that. I'm still working on being God in my car. I'm practicing. I'm working on it. I probably should have a practitioner for that one, but see me after if you want to help me work through that one. All right, so at this moment, I'd like to invite the band and the choir to come back up. And I want to say a couple words about Memorial Day, which is tomorrow. And we know that Memorial Day is a day set aside to remember people from our military who have served our country who have passed. And of course, I think a lot of people on Memorial Day remember those who have left, whether they were in the military or not. And it got me thinking about kind of legacy a little bit. I have a really good friend who I also work with, and he has a caregiving company that's the job part of it, but he has a passion project, which he calls the Legacy Project. And he interviews people and asks a series of pointed questions to get people to pull out the highlights of their life, maybe who inspired them as they were coming through their life, and then also how they feel they have left others, right? And I started thinking about my parents and the legacy they left me. You know, a lot of people work and strive and save and do all this stuff because they want to give their kids a house or jewelry or stuff. And, you know, as a kid who inherited a bunch of that stuff, I would say, please don't. Like, your kids don't want all your stuff, okay? Like, start going through your stuff now. My sister Nancy asked me to throw that in there. Because what I got from my mom is my sense of humor. And I got the ability to go into the pantry and cook something incredible without knowing ahead of time what I'm going to do. I learned that from my mom. That's her legacy for me, my humor, my creativity with cooking. And for my dad, I inherited what it feels like to be unconditionally loved. And that is something that is rare. And some people may have never felt it, but I did. So think about that and yourself. No, it doesn't matter how old you are. Think about your legacy. Think about what it is you want to leave others with when you're gone. Hey, and it could be even when you're gone out of their area, out of the space, like all those kids that I worked with. I left a legacy with those kids, whether I know it or not, and I consciously chose the legacy that I wanted to leave, which was loving them and seeing the good in each and every one of them, no matter what their behavior was like. And I know, because I've seen other kids over the years that we've not seen for a long, long time, who've said, you guys were so loving, and you were just so accepting, and I can't believe all the dumb stuff that I did while I was with you. Like, they recognize that now, right? So think about the legacy you want to leave now. Think about it now. When you leave the grocery store, how do you want that person who checked you out to feel? Do you want them to feel like they were seen, recognized as a divine being? That's a fun thing to do. So here's the call to action for this week. Number 1, take a look at how you are being in the world. Being, all in caps. Are your values reflected in your actions? Number 2, do one thing that makes things better for a person, a community, for the earth, for humanity. Number 3, be the place where God shows up. And number 4, think about what you want your legacy to be. And I'd like to end with a prayer. So if y'all feel comfortable to just close your eyes, just feel yourself seated in that chair that you're in. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Take a moment and feel the energy in this room. Feel the vibration in this room. I can feel it. There is an energy of love. There's an energy of wisdom. There's an energy of joy right here in this room. That is the presence of God, which is always all of that. But we are generators of that. So as we embody the qualities of the divine, we are broadcasting those qualities. And I know that each and every person here and each and every person who is listening in is that beautiful broadcaster of the divine. The source of love, the source of peace, the source of wisdom. And I know that as we go on about our week, our month, our year, that we shine that light. We take action that reflects our values, that we hold and cherish one another as the beloveds that we all are. I give thanks for this teaching. I give thanks for Ernest Holmes for creating the science of mind, for bringing together all of this wonderful philosophy from all these religions in a way that we can understand it and use it. I am so grateful for that aspect. And so I know that as I speak my word of power and conviction, I know that that fertile soil of the law just goes about creating. And so I know there is nothing but good, good, and more good. I release this prayer with great love and gratitude. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste.
Back a long, long time ago, about 1,000,000 years BC, all the best things in this life, well, they were absolutely free, but no one appreciated a sky that was always blue, and no one anticipated a moon that was always new.
So it was planned that they would vanish now and then, and we must learn before we get them back again. That's what storms were made for. You shouldn't be afraid for. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Make sure that your umbrella is upside down. Well, you could trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. But if you want the life you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and for me. Not your ordinary raindrops.
Pennies from heaven.
Spirit sends them.
Pennies from heaven.
You find your fortune falling all over town. Make sure that your umbrella is upside down. Well, you could trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. But if you want a chance to grow, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under that tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and for me. Isn't it grand?
Wow. Thank you, Jim. This is just amazing. Just amazing. I am just filled with so much gratitude for being here this morning, for this beautiful music that you guys have created, and all of the fellowship here this morning. And we could not be here in this beautiful area surrounded by God's nature without the contribution and the gifts and the generosity of your heart that you give every single week. So this is the time I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward. And it is now time for our conscious giving. So I'm going to suggest you take your gifts in your hands and place it over your heart. And for Zoomers and for those that will listen to us later this week, please know that you can always go to PayPal or info@awakeningways.org and make a beautiful contribution. Now, we do need a little bit more than pennies from heaven. And we also have a code here in the back. You can just do your camera and bing, bang, bong. There you are on PayPal. Easy peasy. So please place your gifts over your heart and repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. Oh, and it does great work in the world. and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
God is my source.
God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I
And I just say with that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for this wonderful service. My goodness. I'm going to carry this with me all week. Thank you for this amazing community. Each and every one of you is this community. And it's lovely. And I just let that be so. And so it is.
Thank you, handsome. And I'd like to invite Betty to come up. She is our announcement angel.
Thank you. We have 2 pages of announcements. So we have 2 Sundays left to get our bids in for Gourmets for God at the table over there. If you haven't done so, pick up your bidder's packet. And if you've put your bids in already, check on them to make sure you haven't been outbid. Raise them up. I would like to invite Joy up to tell us about a fun event she is hosting.
Hi. On August 17th, Ann and I are going to do laughter yoga and summer salads. And so we're going to do a real quick laughter right now. We're going to sing a song, and we're only going to use ha, he, ho, hu as the words. So you all remember 3 Blind Mice from our childhood. So we're going to sing that right now using just those vowels. Ha, 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 ho, ho, ho. He, hi, ho, hoo, doesn't matter. Ho, 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 he, ha, 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 ho, ho, ho. Hoo, I think I changed songs, didn't I? Oh, well. Ho, 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 hoo, he, ha, ho, ha, 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 he, ha, ha, ho, ho. We're going to be doing stuff like that. It's just fun, Philly stuff. It gets your hormones going so you're happy and pain-free.
Thank you, Joy. Okay, Gina Jenkins is presenting Yada yoga classes every Monday at 9 a.m. and every Thursday at 7 p.m. These are ongoing classes, and I would like, no, Gina's not here. The suggested level offering for this is $20, but no one is turned away. You can also purchase a 1-month package for $60 for Mondays or Thursdays and $120 for 1 month of Monday and Thursday. So you'll save $20 by purchasing a month pass. There is a sign-up sheet in the back at the information table. Okay, tickets for the Soul Serenity Retreat with Karen Drucker and Gary Lynn Floyd are available for purchase. The retreat and concert are on Saturday, June 15th, right here at the Pavilion. For $129, you get to participate in the retreat, enjoy lunch, and attend the concert later. Or you can just come for the concert for $30. Sunday the 16th, Karen and Gary will provide the music and the message for our service. Okay, and so this is an incredible opportunity to hear nationally known musicians. And also, we've printed up these flyers. If you'll pick them up and take them to your favorite coffee house or bookstore or someplace that you hang out and post them, we would be grateful. On Sunday, June 2nd, we'll be filming interviews with members of our community for our promotional video being produced for Awakening Ways by Gina DiGirolamo and her cousin Noah, who is visiting from Italy. If you would like to be part of this, sharing what you love about this community, there's a sign-up sheet at the information table. Finally, our book of the month for May is The Lightmaker's Manifesto, How to Work for Change Without Losing Your Joy, by Karen Walrond. In her book, Walrond helps us name the skills, values, and actions that bring us joy, identify the causes that spark our empathy and concern, and then put it all together to change the world. Also, the May-June Science of Mind magazine is available in the back for $10. Finally, a big shout out for our volunteers and staff. We love and appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Betty. And this is what the book looks like back there. Absolutely wonderful book. Your life will be changed. So, is Sonia here? Okay, so we don't have the kids. So could everybody please stand and we get in a big, large circle here for people that are new today so we can do the benediction and the call and response. All right. And I just want to say, tomorrow, as Susan mentioned, is Memorial Day. If anybody here has been a vet or participated in the armed services, could you raise your hand so we could, oh my goodness, wow. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. And I also want to acknowledge all of our veterans who did not make it home. We know they always live in our hearts. So please know, won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all that we need to do is to turn within. It is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that only knows good. Joyously, let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. So please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It is this thing called life. It is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my pocketbook. Life is in my relationships. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. I accept it. Just the way it is. And just the way it is not. Thank you, life.
May I be filled with love and kindness.